know the sound of the Vuvuzela means it's time for the Get More Sports World Tour Soccer podcast here on GetMoreSports.com. I am your host, EJ Carr, and we've got another nice show lined up for you again this week. Hope everyone's been taking advantage of the Europa League plays we've been giving out here. Doing quite well, certainly successful, and it's a fantastic time of year. Of course, we know English Premier League is going to be getting started this weekend. Europa League's in full force. Champions League's going crazy as they approach group stage here soon enough. Yeah, of course, the MLS and North American Soccer League certainly being covered by me. And let's get you started here. In case you're wondering,
You are now Rainmaker.
Yeah, that's me. Of course, you can always check my Twitter feed out, EJ the Rainmaker on Twitter, and let's get to some Europa League action here. That's of course tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, depending on where you live. And we saw, man, where else would we start with Rosenborg and Debrecen? Pretty sure you know where we're going with this one if you've been following any of our advice over the last couple of weeks. We're going to again move the line to the over 3 or plus 115 or so, depending on your book. We saw a 3-2 first leg with the Norwegian side having 3 away goals in hand. And my God, what's going to stop a 2-1 match from happening here again to at least push that 3 on the action? I mean, my God, Debrecen cannot stop anyone. We've been talking about it. I don't want to beat a dead horse here because that horse is already dead. So what's the point of beating that horse? So I'm saying. So, we're moving that line to over 3. I'm not even going to bother with that 2.5. Because, the 2.5 is like minus 130, minus 140 or something like that. Why would you pay that kind of a price for an over 3? Move the line to 3. Just move the line to 3, get the plus 115. It's all about value here, people. And if you're not seeking value and worried about your return on investment, get the hell out of sports betting. You don't belong here. So it's, move that line to over 3, please. 2-1 match in Rosenborg and Debrecen. Yeah. All right, Copenhagen hosting Jablanek with 1-0 lead from the first leg in the Czech Republic. And I'm going to move this line again. This over 2 and a 2.5 handicap at even money, plus 100 or so. And Copenhagen hasn't been held to a clean sheet at home since November of last year. We're talking like 19, 20 matches ago, the last time they got shut out at home. And Jablanek is certainly not going to be the team that walks in there and changes that anytime soon. Copenhagen can play phenomenal football at home. And even with the handicap here, if Copenhagen ends up with a 2-0 win, I'm not going to cry about it. As long as we're playing that 2 and 2.5 handicap, we're getting even money on that. So, again, there's a little bit of concern with if that third goal will come. Because I don't really know if Jablanek is going to find a way to convert any kind of goal there. But Copenhagen's certainly going to at least win this match 2-0. Hopefully that third goal comes, but that's why I'm moving this line down to 2 and 2.5. Again, at even money. Vojvodina hosting Sampdoria. 4-0 lead against the Italian side when they went to Italy and how they went into Genoa and took out Sampdoria like that. My God. Can't remember the last time Sampdoria lost 4-0 at home. And, the line setters are only asking us to pay minus 115 for the over 2.5 here. Like Sampdoria is not going to go in there with some kind of vengeance and some kind of plan to make up this 4-goal deficit. You know what? I don't know if they're going to pull it off, but I certainly see them trying. I highly doubt Sampdoria to say, you know what? Vojvodina is just so much more talented than we are. Really? I mean, really? If Vojvodina ends up beating Sampdoria here, like 7-0 or something outrageous, how I can't wait for Italian Serie A to start. I'm going to bash the hell out of them if they can't find a way to get back in this series. This second leg at Vojvodina, I certainly see Sampdoria making an effort. There's no way that team's just going to lay down and give it up like that. So that's over 2.5 here. It's minus 115. Sampdoria is going to walk in there and get a result, even if it is only 2-1. I think Sampdoria is going to be just fine. And something does, they're going to find a way to make up this entire thing and end up scoring 5 goals. Just absolutely ripping the hearts out of all the Vojvodina fans at home. So Yeah, the over 2.5 here seems like cupcakes to me. Minus 1.5. Where's my gavel? I got to get my gavel. Hold on. Hey! So! Gavel, always close to me when I'm coming on the air. So let's move on. Ruben Kazan hosting Stern. You know, we saw a 3-2 game in the first leg here, and we might see that same result there in Russia. It's over 2.5 at even money. Certainly making my board. I certainly don't expect anything less than a 2-1 match here in Russia. I think Ruben Kazan's going to be just fine. I mean, man, anytime I see a 3-2 result in the first leg, how can you not automatically turn to the over? I mean, granted, you know, you think, well, if it's that automatic, there must be something involved here. But, you know, we've done it plenty around here before. I mean, what are you going to do, take the under? How else do you make up a road goal deficit unless you're scoring? 2-1 here? And the over 2.5? Okay, good enough, even money. Let it be 2-1. I certainly expect even more than that to happen here. So if the 2-1 match is all we need to get paid there, bring on the Russian snow. Yeah, 2-1. Over 2.5. It's certainly on the board. All right, Southampton headed to the Netherlands with a 3-0 lead. And, you know, I just don't see how Vitesse is going to make a comeback here and get back into this series. I see the English side, and actually the zero pick, you know, the draw no bet handicap action is minus 125. You know, that's not that harsh of a line. With a 3-0 lead, they obviously don't need to walk in there and get that big of a result. So in case they just decide to step back and, you know, hang back and play defense and not really kill it, let it be 0-0. You know, at least there'll be no harm, no foul there. Because, you know, if you play the three-way action there, and all of a sudden they don't win, that'll drive me nuts. Anytime you can get a decent price of a minus 125, which isn't that bad, you know, I'm taking this draw no bet handicap on Southampton. I mean, what they've been doing in the preseason has been outrageous. Of course, we mentioned the 10-goal outpour they pulled off a couple weeks ago, and they hit the over for us last week when we recommended it here on the show, and I'm going to ride their coattails here. I'm going to hope Southampton comes out of there at least with some kind of result, and if they don't, you know what, if it's a draw, like I said, let it be. No harm, no foul. All right, Trabzonspor hosting Robotniki in Turkey, and Trabzonspor down 1-0, and at home. I expect the Turkish side to lay pretty much the beat down on Robotniki. They're going to kill them. Something tells me that their crowd and give those fans something to stand up and cheer about. So I'm actually going to take this minus 1 and minus 1.5 handicap at minus 115. It makes sense to me because you know what, they're going to win the match, and that mini safety net there with the handicap line, it works just in case they do indeed only find a way to win that game by a goal. But I expect them to win comfortably here. But at minus 115, if I can play that minus 1 and minus 1.5 handicap, you know what? So if they don't win by 2 goals, at least if they win that match, you know, you get half your money back. I can handle that. So over the course of the season, and we've mentioned that many times on our show. This is our 24th episode that we've shot here at GetMoreSports.com, and we've mentioned it plenty about you know, mini safety nets, getting half your money back here, half your money back there, pushing here. But those are all positive things in my opinion. I mean, any handicapper out there who doesn't find value in a push or a half-back situation really shouldn't be doing this. I mean, this is, you know, it's part of the return of investment and part of how you make money handicapping. So, yeah, I expect Trabzonspor to come out of there, at least with the win. So, yeah, that minus 1 and 1.5 handicap, minus 115 or so, depending on your book and, of course, what time you get to playing. Goldborg. Man, down 2-1. It's amazing that Dylan Essence has found a way to win that match 2-1. And, you know, the Swedes have not been scored on at home in 6 straight home games. That is absolutely amazing. To not let 6 teams come into your building and score a single goal, man, what's that, 540 minutes of no one scoring on you at home? Plus any extra time or any kind of, my God, man, good luck. Good luck, Lenessons. I think they're in trouble. You know what? 1-0 is all Goldborg needs. That's all they need to pull off, and that's exactly what I expect to see here. I'm taking the under 2.5 at minus 125 because, again, I think Goldborg's going to win 1-0. And I'm taking the Göteborg three-way line at minus 115 at home. Again, expecting 1-0. It's going to be 1-0. I cannot see any other score line coming out. You know what? If Ilonenses tries to find a way to get to get that equalizing goal and actually give them the way through, if they score a road goal, it's over. And I see them pressing late, trying to get that equalizing goal, and that's going to be the biggest take a 2-0 win here. So I'll take the under 2.5 and the Göteborg three-way home at minus 115. We saw Bordeaux take a 3-0 home win in their first leg, and the line setters are giving away the French side in Cyprus at plus 120 as the three-way line. Thank you. No, thank you. I shouldn't be saying thank you, right? Merci. Yeah, I'm an Italian dude talking French. Sorry. Yeah, I can't do the whole merci. I'm not got no French in me at all. Thank God I have no French in me at all. I got no problem having no French in me at all, to be honest with you. When you're Italian, yeah, that's how you look at it. Sorry. Hey, I got nothing else to say about that. That's, you know what? Let's just, move on. All right. That's what's that? 9 Europa League plays we have on the board out of the 8 matches I mentioned. So I'm going to wrap it up here and make it 10 plays. Elfsborg, 0 pick, draw, no bet, handicap line in Norway. Even money. I mean, Elfsborg just has more experience in these European competitions. I expect that they're going to find a way to get at least a draw, possibly win that match, and that's all we need here. Again, with the draw, no bet in place, if Elfsborg can only muster up a draw, no harm, no foul again. And you know what? I like this Elfsborg draw, no pick or draw, no bet in the 0 pick handicap line there. So they're going to find a way to come out of there with some type of result, and that's all we need. So. Let's wrap it up there. Like I mentioned, we have the Rosenborg, Debrecen over 3 plus 115. The Copenhagen, Javonic over 2 and 2.5 handicap line at even money. The Vojvodina Sampdoria over 2.5 at minus 115. The Rubin Kazan game in Russia with Sturm at over 2.5 at even money. Southampton in the 0 pick draw no bet handicap at minus 125. Trabzonspor at the minus 1 and minus 1.5 handicap line at 115. Over Robotniki. Göteborg, 3-way, minus 115, and the under 2.5 there, minus 125. Bordeaux in the plus 120 on the 3-way line against AAK Lamaka. Draw no bet, handicap line at even money. Not bad. Obviously you notice there's not one line over minus 125 on that entire board. And that's how you concentrate on the return of investment. I mean, it's all everything depends on that. So, certainly everything I've ever learned in my 20 years of doing this is certainly geared towards the return of investment. So it's definitely something you want to pay attention to. All right, we have 2 MLS matches on the board tonight, and I already have my plays and previews written up at Diamond. Taking the over 3 with the New York Montreal. Oh my goodness, those two should have that covered in the first hour. I'm certainly going to expect a 4th or even a 5th goal when that game is said and done. Who's going to stop who? The Red Bulls certainly aren't going to stop Montreal. That's not going to happen. And we know Montreal can't stop anyone either. 2-1. I expect this match to be 2-1 by the 55th minute, somewhere in there. Just wait. And right there, you already pushed your action. So, you know what? Good enough for me. Someone's going to find that 4th or 5th goal in the last half hour, 35 minutes or whatever. I expect 4 or 5 goals there, easy. So that over 3 certainly makes the board. That's about even money as well. Toronto hosting Orlando City tonight, and Toronto is obviously without Michael Bradley still. Jose Altidore is out the door. I love saying that. I think I said that a couple of days ago or a couple of shows ago as well. Yeah, he got sent packing last week. Red card, and what an idiot, man. I mean, what are you doing kicking Jose Goncalves? What are you doing? And what was it even for? All they did was call for a header. Oh, what, he put his arm on your shoulder and you wait till he goes to the ground and you're going to kick a dude? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Obviously, Altidore just said, you know what, I think I'd rather just sit out of the Orlando City match. And that's exactly what he'll be doing. Giovinco, he came out of last weekend's match at halftime after the Reds were down 2-0. And obviously Altidore was sent off. And maybe I don't know if that was just because Toronto didn't see a reason to leave him in there down 2-0 and down a man. What was he going to do? Single-handedly, of course, at the same time, Giovinco has single-handedly made, helped Toronto with some huge comebacks this year. So, kind of surprised. Obviously, his heel is bugging him more than maybe all of us know. So without 100% Giovinco, no Bradley, no Altidore, and no defense to speak of whatsoever, listen, Toronto can't play defense at all. 10 goals in the last 5 outings. I mentioned that in my preview. I'm taking the Orlando City 0-pick draw no bet handicap at plus 150. Yep, that's plus 150 for you people that think I'm a little crazy here. That's okay. I'm taking the Orlando City. Orlando City is going to walk in here and get some kind of result. I don't care if it's the first time they've ever been to Toronto. What the hell is to be scared about? There's no one in Toronto to be afraid of. Especially at plus 150. What a price. I mean, thank you. Toronto. Anybody who says Toronto and defense in the same sentence, yeah. Yeah. All right, North American Soccer League. There are 3 matches tonight, including the Cosmos at home. Of course, I was at the Cosmos game this past weekend, and I have video of myself sitting at the 5-point supporters section before the game started. You can check that out on my EJ the Raymaker Twitter feed. Feel free to go check that out. I spent about 4 or 5 minutes before the game just kind of soaking it all in and hanging out before all the supporters got there. It's pretty cool to actually be hanging out right behind the goal with no one there for a few minutes. I just kind of take advantage of the opportunity. So I turned on the video camera. I'm like, look at this. Here he is hanging out, Stewart Stadium, behind the goal. Man, that's good stuff. And, we just got done shooting my New York Cosmos team podcast over there at, if you check out nycosmos.com/podcast, you can check out today's show. Of course, like I said, the Cosmos are facing Minnesota tonight at Stewart Stadium. And Minnesota, boy, they can score. Cosmos haven't lost at home in a calendar year, and will certainly find a way to break down the Loons defense. Did I say Goons? Yeah, I'll call them the Goons. All right, you can call them the Loons, whatever you got to call them. But I like that over. That over is going to make my board here. I mentioned that play on our Cosmos podcast this afternoon. You know what? I'm telling you, something's telling me there's going to be a 2-1 match here. The Cosmos will, at least for me on my fan side, hopefully come out on top 2-1 with a late goal. But, I expect Minnesota to press early. We might see an early goal there. That could change the entire outlook of the match. I certainly see a couple goals being scored there. But I'm taking that over 2.5 tonight. It's plus 110 too. So I don't know what the line says. Expect a lot of defense to be played. Of course, Jimmy Maurer is one of the best goalkeepers in the North American Soccer League. I don't expect him to get lit up. If he gives up a goal, I can't cry about that. I just hope the Cosmos grab a couple themselves. Of course, again, you can find all that stuff on my Twitter feed or over at NewYorkCosmos.com. And, of course, England kicks off their campaign this weekend. Yeah. And I'm still in the process of getting ready for that. I mean, there's so many moves and so much to take in. Man, I mean, even when you just start looking at all the moves, it's a daunting process when you start trying to break down. Of course, I followed it all during the summer, and you kind of pay attention to, who made moves where, and of course, Schweinsteiger and all these guys. I mean, everyone sees what's been going on. But there's all these last-second acquisitions and changes being made. I mean, every day, see another move made, another signing. It's opening weekend this weekend. It's a big week. And, of course, I'll have my season-long previews going, of course, as I did last year at Diamond Sportsbook at TSI. That post will be up probably likely tomorrow afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, if you like English Premier League, I had a fantastic campaign last year myself. I mean, it's how many weekends? I can't even tell you how many weekends. I go 8-2 and 7-3 and just really cleaned up in the English Premier League last year. A lot of people were appreciating that. And, Germany also gets their campaign started in about 10 days. And, again, I'm still working on all those moves around Bundesliga. Boy, of course, I'll have season-long match-by-match previews for Bundesliga, and as well as Spain and Italy, and when Champions League group stage begins. I'll be doing all those previews over at Diamond Sportsbook as well. And, of course, I'll have, although, we mentioned all that stuff here, I'm going to get more sports World Tour of Soccer podcast as we get going, of course. And, man, it's what a great time of year. I love when August hits because then, all the leagues in Europe are getting started. MLS starting to really get, everyone's talking about the playoffs right now, and as their season's starting to come to an end, everybody only has about 12 or 13 games left in their campaign. And, the playoff picture is certainly taking shape in the MLS. It's a fun time of year, of course, here in the United States. And, of course, I definitely want to give a shout-out to the Cosmos B squad. They're going to be playing the championship game in Chattanooga on Saturday, and I want to give them a little shout-out because, of course, like I mentioned, I'm a big Cosmos fan through the team podcast. I certainly want to give a big shout-out to Cosmos B and Aleko Eskandarian, and hopefully everything works out for them. It's going to be a tough match. I assume that they gave that match to the Chattanooga fans because of the attendance numbers that city gives. It's amazing to see Memphis, Tennessee, and those people love soccer, and that is great. And when you're putting, they broke their attendance record last weekend with their semifinal game, and putting in 9,200 fans in the stands. I mean, that's gotta love that. I personally I think that's fantastic, and I certainly understand why they chose Chattanooga to host the championship game. I mean, if you're going to put 9,000-something fans in the seats, that's called revenue. And, of course, it's the last game of the NPSL season. And, again, good luck to Cosmos B, of course, on a personal note. And we'll see how that goes. I'll give you an update. If you haven't looked into that yourself, I'll give you an update next week on how that went. And, of course, North American Soccer League, they have 3 matches tonight, and they have a full weekend on deck as well. So there's a lot going on in North American Soccer League right now, the lower tiers, if you want to call it that, to MLS, which to me, really there's not that big of a discrepancy, and we've talked about that plenty around here, and I just don't think there's that much of a discrepancy between MLS and North American Soccer League. Of course, the stadiums aren't as big, and I get that, and maybe the fan, obviously that affects the attendance numbers, but whatever. You know what? I love North American Soccer League. I have for years. I have since I was a kid. I remember going to Giant Stadium and watching Pele and Beckenbauer and Canali and all those maniacs, Shep Messing, Werner Roth. My God, that was a great time of year to be a soccer fan when you were back in the late 70s growing up. But, I miss that stuff. Pretty cool that Pele still finds a way to be involved with all the stuff with the Cosmos. And it's pretty cool. All right, let's get everybody out of here. I hope you have a good weekend and take advantage of some more Europa League plays that we're throwing out here. Good luck with the 2 MLS matches tonight. And, of course, I'll have all my weekend previews over at Diamond for the rest of the matches that will be taking place over the weekend in the MLS. And, again, we appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen to the show. We hope everybody has some success making some money with some suggestions. And we'll get you out of here this week. We'll catch you next week right here on the Get More Sports World Tour Soccer podcast as we leave you with the sound of the vuvuzela.